Welcome to our professional training event. I see some familiar faces. So who's been here before? Welcome. We appreciate you coming back. And who's here for the first time? Oh, thanks. You got a nice combination of people. So I thank you guys for coming. We're going to have an incredible day today.
So I think it's all the same. It's all a methylation issue to me. It's all an inability to produce glutathione and get the toxins out. It's an inability to create methyl bodies and create healthy DNA, healthy hormones, healthy immune system, and healthy neurotransmitters. To me, it's all the same.
Are you seeing an improvement though with these, with some of the patients you have that have already been, like, you know, kind of chemically assaulted, but they're poor methylators?
Yeah. So this is just the tip of the iceberg. I first reset them. This is what I consider resetting. As big as this whole lecture was, this is in the 5R program that we're doing next month, this is reset. When I get to the next one where I'm removing, now I know the glutathione levels are at a level where they can tolerate a detox. So maybe now I'm doing a heavy metal detox, maybe now I'm doing something. And then I go into the next R, which is rebuild. So now I'm going to rebuild what other system was broken besides the methylation system. Was it joint? Was it heart? Now I can rebuild it because now I have methylation, right? So the body's amazing. I think it can recover from all things. Then when I move into my next R, right, now I'm going to repeat if anything needs repeated. Do I need to up methylation again? So I go through all those 5Rs. So when we take the 5R, when I say that's how I practice, it wasn't like this is R and this is R. And it's more of like I took that 5R and I put it into anything that walked into my office. Someone walked in with the big C word, I slapped the 5R program on them. Okay, we're going to reset you first, then we're going to remove, then we're going to rebuild, then we're going to recharge, and then we're going to repeat. Got it? Got it. What was your question?
Well, you had mentioned a couple neurological. I was wondering, could something like bipolar showing up in somebody in their early 20s also possibly be something like this?
Theoretically, yep. In theory. In the theory of Tracy, yes. But they are connecting mood disorders to methylation problems and genome mutations. So if someone came in and had schizophrenia, which I just got someone referred to me and had schizophrenia, like, can you help? And I'm like, I can try. The very first thing I said to him was, anybody in your family have X, Y, or Z? Well, the person referred to me was his sister who has Hashimoto's. So I'm already going, bing. So I was like, here's a kit for you and a kit for you, and let's see where we are. And even if they don't have a mutation, I know it's a methylation issue, so I'm going to reset them, and then I'm going to move into the next step. Maybe it's heavy metals. I don't know why I would have it, but it's individualized, but in theory, yes. Heather?
Oh, I was just going to make a comment and throw something out there, but one of the things that was a big indicator for me that I had the mutation was I could never get numb at the dentist. And that's a huge,
right.
I'm finding across the board, like you could give me as much as a horse would have, and I could feel everything, so that was a huge one. And then just to throw out into the wind, but I think about the SNPs and addiction, like how does that, where does that fall? Because I'm thinking other family members.
Yep. Oh, addiction's big with MTHFR mutation. Yeah. So it's more of like OCD tendencies, repetitive thoughts. It falls in the neurological. Yeah. So it's going to fall into the SAMe. So people with addictions do very well with SAMe. And glutathione and methylated B, vitamins B12, and probably some good emotional work. Okay, that's it. Next.
But just like what you were saying, pretty much regardless of what they present with, you're going to start with
I reset them. Yeah. And then it's individualized how you reset. So when the first part, if you read the magazine, the first one was reset, right? And we talked about foundations of health. We talked about the Great Pyramid. And with MTHFR specifically, that pyramid's going to look different. So with the Great Pyramid for average people, we talked about probiotics and enzymes and minerals and proteins. And then we talked about interpreting the data. And the interpreting the data part is where you figure out, what am I dealing with? And if it's this, then my reset's going to look a little different. If it's something else, it's going to look different. So it's just a model of practice. It was so simple, like when I put it into my practice, it was like, it's easy. I reset, I rebuild, I remove, I just go right down the R's. Reset, remove, rebuild, recharge, repeat. Go ahead.
On the testing on verification, testing.
Mm-hmm.
Are you blood testing, or are you simple?
Yeah, I do saliva to determine, and then I have them test sulfur levels in their urine. I get, pH strips, like that kind of stuff. Yeah, they do it at home, but basically if I'm on the right path, I don't hear from them. If I'm not, I hear from them all the time, right? And it's like, I don't feel good, I'm having anxiety, and I'm like, I know, me too, you keep texting me. I'm just kidding. I don't say that. On the inside a little bit, but yeah, I would have them go test their levels, and if nothing's coming back, then I'm like, all right, let's get some blood work. Let's, you know what I mean. Go ahead.
Have you done any work with patients that have severe migraines?
Mhm.
I noticed migraines on the list. I'm so many clients or friends that they've got adjusted, they've gone to every doctor, they get every pill that they've tried, and still they have migraines.
Right. Yeah, so migraines are one of two things. They can be here with the neurotransmitter build, or they can be here with the detoxification issue. So my question would then go back to, when did it start? And if they say, oh, it started in my 20s, what happened? And maybe we can connect it to foods or something like that. But if they said, I've always had them, then I know it's over here. Over here, I'm going to do SAMe. Over here, I'm going to do glutathione and probably my methylated Bs. I'm just going to treat them as such, right? And then over here, I might do a detox for maybe heavy metals or something that might stimulate migraines. Over here, I'm going to do something different, right? So it just depends on asking more questions. So testing to me gets me to ask more questions, better questions, right?
So how long do you keep, like, so for somebody like me who's just jacked, how long, like,
You're
should I
special.
stay on all this stuff for life, or is it just
In theory, it's supposed to make this better, so you'll be able to cut down. Can you ever stop? No, because
I
you.
want to get off being sort of not taking it forever constantly, but
If you want to go like this. But wouldn't it be good if we just got you to a point where you could take one B vitamin a day, a spray of B12 and some SAMe and glutathione and move on with your life? Right? Because we've created a good foundation. So that would be eating the right food, you're meditating every day. You have to create the life you want. So if you start with the end in mind, what does the journey look like towards it? Right? What's the life you want to live, the foods you want to eat to get this result? Right now, you're going to require more because you're special. You found this out. Now we just have to get the magic formula down. That's going to start rebuilding this. You work on your foundations. You work on your water and your thoughts and your movement and not overworking and everything else that we do.
They gotta really keep a journal.
They do.
They gotta really.
And this word right here, stress. It's bad. Any stress. Stress is emotional. Stress is toxicity. Stress is food. Stress is people. Physical, right. That's where like over-exercising for you, not good. Like, oh my gosh, he's just rolling over. What's that?
But we need some exercise.
Oh, absolutely. I did say over. She's like, so that means 4 minutes a day, 1 day a week? That's what you're saying? Not what I'm saying? All right, any questions? Those were all good questions. I don't know if I ended early, Jamie, and I'm sorry. I can't get my thing to advance now. Okay, 1 second. You're making me mad. Go ahead. Who said what?
Just reference to the migraine.
Mm-hmm.
Do you even check for microclotting, thrombocytic activity, or potential stroke?
Sure, if you're a doctor. I can't do that. I can send them to you, right? But if I'm suspecting that, if they come in with a history and they're on a blood thinner and they're giving me all the signs and symptoms that something bigger is wrong, of course I'm going to refer them out.
Then bruising,
Bruising, yeah.
or hemorrhagic stroke.
Sure, yeah. And that, I mean, you're looking at more clinically trained. And that's why we work well together, right? I may send them to you and say, hey, doc, I need some tests just to make sure. And you're going to come back and say, nope, all clear. And I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to work with foundations then. So that's where we can really work well together. I did want to say something about the migraines, too. One of the supplements that we use for migraines that works really well is magnesium, right? It's a huge part of methylation. So is vitamin D3 because it's fat soluble. So when you see migraines, that's why magnesium and D3 can really help with migraines. So if that doesn't work, then I would go bigger.
Yeah, Dr. Wanna's protocol for migraines was no dairy products, and then 4 to 8 a day at the max complete. Usually about 80% of people do really well with some.
Yeah. That's because you can't hold magnesium when you have a methylation issue. It burns. It's like one of those things that just burns off. That's why you get D3 depleted as well, because the immune system starts to fall. Most people that have methylation issues have low vitamin D. So that's why this lab that we hooked up with does all your vitamins and nutrients and everything, so you can see where you have to like fill for a while until you can get the methylation up. Good questions, guys. Anything else? Go ahead.
Do you have any events coming up that you can learn more about the 5R?
There could be one here in Pittsburgh, right here, with Dr. Tracy. And Candace is going to help me. Nothing's working. I killed your battery, Rashid. I'm sorry. So this is the 5R. It's actually going to be a program. It's one of the qualifiers if you want to be part of our corporate wellness division, if you want to be considered as a practitioner. We do want you to take it. It's not expensive. You get 6 CEUs. You can also do it online. So if you don't want to come to this event and see me again, which it's okay, I understand, you can come online because we are creating that NFU, which is Nutritional Frontiers University, and all of our courses will now be available online. And it's just going to look like a learning management system. You're going to come in, there's going to be video, there's going to be PDFs, there's going to be all kinds of stuff. So again, any practitioners, you want to share your genius on our platform, we would love to have you. It can be a nice little revenue stream for you, and also it can really bridge the gap for people who want to learn what you know. Okay? And we appreciate everything you guys do. And thanks for taking your time out today. I have the sign up here. This is my pen. If it walks away, I'm going to come after you. Okay, this is my little Mac pen, but it works on the iPad. I have a little thing if you want to put your name and your email, and we will get you signed up with your molecular lab account, and then you can request all the cool little labs that you want. Again, you don't have to carry anything in-house. You just send them to your clients, which is really nice, because I never liked carrying things like that. My kids would always open them. So this is up here if you want it, or I'll pass it around. Leave it here.
Do they have corporate pricing for the physicians?
Repeat that. Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't know who she was talking about. I was like, us? I was like, yeah. Aren't you on our?
How does this work?
It's magic.
Oh,
Sorry.
I missed that.
That was my fault. I changed it. Any other questions?
Yeah, the molecular lab, they do the blood test and the saliva test as well?
The spot blood.
all these tests
Everything in
that
there.
you
Yep. Now, I can't order the whole blood, but you could. You're an MD.
You're in Australia, Tracy?
Are they in Australia?
Is the lab in
I don't know. I don't know. The only place that they don't like, I think, is New York, Rhode Island, and New Jersey was the other one.
No, but I mean the lab itself. I saw Australia on here. Australia-based company with
Awesome.
international shipping options. Their offices in
I guess. She didn't sound Australian when I talked to her. Her name was Josie, though. She was awesome. So they're really excited, and they're actually talking to us about doing some like collaborative education programs, and they work with PubMed, they work with Wikipedia, they work with WebMD, so they have some really big accounts, and then they have us. We're like, yay, you like us. So go ahead.
Do you have a good company carry since y'all don't carry it?
We are going to carry it, aren't we, Jamie? Hint,
Yeah,
hint.
the company that makes Gnosis, who makes the quadrifoliate, it's a 4th generation folic acid. Gnosis is a company, but they're a supplier of the ingredient.
Okay.
So we're working on them. They have a patented SAMI, plus a trademark patented new glutathione. So
Yeah.
we're working on a formula that may combine those with maybe NNC.
It'll be a killer combo. It'll be awesome.
A liposomal glutathione would be nice.
Yeah, liposomal. Liposomal. I'll get there. I'll get there.
Liposomal glutathione would be cool.
Well, liposomal glutathione is good. It's just it smells like rotten eggs and sulfur. So
Sulfur.
it's tough for compliance. I mean, we gotta do it for patients.
Can you encapsulate it so it doesn't
Yeah.
smell? Yeah.
He'll work his magic. Don't you worry. Whatever he comes out with is going to be awesome, as you know. The other thing I wanted to address, because I know that Rashid had talked about CBD and there were some questions on it. When you're working with people that have like methylation issues, like over-methylators, I always talk about niacin and lysine as being two things that I'll put in for people that over-methylate. because they'll burn up the methyl bodies. So if they're over-methylating, they're making too many methyl bodies, I'll put in some burners. You can also add some stress into their life. That works too, but it's not really, it's counterproductive. The CBD, though, works really well with the autonomic nervous system because it feeds that endocannabinoid system. So it can be very helpful, because just keep in mind that when you start feeding this system, you're going to get a revving effect, right? You're going to feel like, oh! Sometimes coupling things that will calm down that autonomic is helpful, and CBD is one of those things that can really help, especially with kids, because parents will call me and be like, he's going crazy, he's like running around, and I'm like, well, that's good, he was nonverbal 2 weeks ago, you know, like, welcome to motherhood the way I know it. My kids jump constantly. I'm like, come here, some CBD. So it works well with kids, it works well with, you know, patients that have this issue, and just methylators in general, okay? Helping people manage their stress, the methyl burners, is very important. All right, any other questions? All right, well, thank you so much for coming. I'm up here if you need me. Good times.